I go in back of the they all from that. My diamonds, they all look at this, that. I go to bed on bet. I got the demon on flats. I got it in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, don't matter. I'm a cave back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they spamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. And that'll carry over the back line. To the end zone for a touchback. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Ooh, what a juke. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at about the 32. Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damian Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes caught. Kelsey, left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They run. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. fullback. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
He's going to get it running right. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Damian Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first-quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Darren Lee there to get him down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
This time, Roethlisberger will throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Frank Clark. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well. On these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Mahomes now on first down. And a little floater there is incomplete. Not that time for Watkins, and that'll bring up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Williams loses the football, and it looks like Steeler football. It is. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Now Marshall. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First carry for James Conner. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
All right, let's go get it now, all right? Tight right. 4 down. Jack 16.
This is Marshall. And some room to maneuver. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Here we go. Double bump. You don't want that, Dave. Wait, sir.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
You got 4. Focus, focus. Wait, sir. Kings. Wait, sir.
Now Roethlisberger. He may try and run for this. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a 1st. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with Marshall. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Heinz Field after this. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Green 90. Green 90. Z. Left.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Slow. Left. Z.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And here's Marshall. Room to run inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Looks like a nice 2nd down for them.
And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
All right, let's go get it now, all right?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Boswell's kick is good. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 77 yards. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. That's McDonald. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Dancing to his left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. They begin the drive with Williams. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say,
play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Flushed out right. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Buying time to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. play action. It's Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And now it's blocked. And thankfully the offense able to recover, but the extra point attempt foiled. Butker now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Monday.
Roethlisberger throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Snickers, you got to spin. Jack 16. Black, what's that?
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Roethlisberger now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's 1st down. Now it's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Black 20.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
You gotta spin. Whirl! Like I said.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Ben to throw again. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Frank Clark in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at about the 31. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Roethlisberger completes it to Moncrief left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They do tack on the extra point as well, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. They've got the lead by 3, late stages of the game. What's the message here? Just hang on to the football? Is it that simple?
That's exactly right, because ball security is paramount. And you got a small cushion. A field goal can tie you, but you don't even think that way. Just take care of the ball, close out the game.
Will they close it out? We're about to find out. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
On 2nd down, Hyde. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They run again with Hyde on first. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Handoff comes to Hyde. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. File that under the heading of catastrophe there.
No doubt about it. You're about to get the ball back, and yet you can't hold your water. End up jumping, and now you give them a first down.
So a new set of downs after a big mistake on special teams. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Chiefs, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.